Today I'm gonna give you another gardening update.
In this vlog series, I am transforming an old 3-story house into an eco home while living in my van conversion. This week it was time to start piecing together the plumbing for the wood burner back boiler system. So now I've made all these parts, I can continue this stuff on. I've sort of staggered them so I can not get in the way of the joints. I need to get some big spannery thing, and that, well, it's gonna fit in there. I have to jiggle these pipe clips a little bit, but yeah, so that should be fine in that. So summer is definitely here now. It's quite a warm day. It's the third warm day. And I'm basically soldering up the rest of my pipe. So I have only 3 more joints, or kind of 6 more joints basically left to solder. And then my soldering is done and everything else is going to be push fit. This pipe here is copper all the way to the top. This is my expansion pipe. So if my boiler overheats, it's got somewhere to go. And the place it goes is the feed and expansion tank. And that will boil out into there. Expand into that, and then any waste will go through a tundish, but essentially the tank itself also feeds back in, but I'll run that down to a plastic pipe which will feed into my copper system. You just got to finish this up. Obviously I'm buying my insulation, so I've got an idea. I'm going to use an old roof tile as a shield so I don't burn my insulation. I don't want to show off, but I actually think I'm like half decent at soldering now. Like I was terrible, just like totally overused flux. I need to find some emery cloth. So yeah, I wasn't ready to begin with, but now when I've only got like 2 or 3 things left to do, I think I've got it. So this is the feed and expansion tank. As you can see, it's got a ball stop in it, so basically that lifts up. So this is the water which goes into the tank and keeps the system full. And obviously it kind of gets stopped by this ball thingy-majiggy. And then out the back, this is like overflow. So this basically goes ideally to a tundish and then to your waste. The tundish is just like a thing where you can visually see and hear water pouring through it. So that's if it's overflowing for some reason, so maybe this ball valve's not working. And this is the feed which goes down to the bottom part of my system. So this feeds water in, so this is like near the pump. Yeah, it just keeps the level basically in it, so it's always got water in it. And then in the top, there's a lid for this, and that's where the expansion type goes to boil it all off into if it kind of overheats or starts to overheat the thing. And obviously if it's boiling it off in here, then it's cycling the water into the bottom as well. So we go back up there. So the radiator here, one of the radiators, the one which is downstairs, is going to have to be always open. I don't have particular radiator parts for that, but as you can see with this one, the way this knob turns this unit is it has little teeth inside this hole which kind of correspond to the teeth on here. So basically what I've done, I just drilled them out. So that means unless you unscrew the cap, take it off and use your fingers, which will open and close the valve in there. I don't know if you can see that moving. Basically it's not going to work, so now this is just purely decorative cap, and I can just have it so it's always open, but then it's still functional if I need it to be. stuff is like PTFE tape, but in a tube. I recommended it by my dad. So right now I'm plumbing in ready for the sink so I can plasterboard and insulate this wall. This is the aircon tube which comes from both aircons, and you see I put a U-bend in it because otherwise, because this is going to have to go into the drain basically, so I'll probably just, wherever this pipe comes in, I'll just bring it in and connect it under the sink. But if I don't have a U-bend in, then the aircon could end up blowing in smells from the sewer, which would not be ideal. Fixed with that in place, I love this build-in strap-in. It's probably not the right stuff to use, but it's really, really strong, more adjustable, and I prefer it to the other stuff. I've got like, it goes into the main down pipe with an angle, but because it's quite a long distance, I'm just using the flex of the pipe, and I think it's going to work pretty fine. And that means less joints, less bullshit, less chances for leaks, I guess. So yeah, I'm going to set that up, and then I should be able to get into the mode of putting in the water pipes here as well, because there's going to be obviously hot and cold tap. They'll come in and out. And the people who kindly pointed out that you should use PVC glue. So you're not meant to use silicone on waste pipes, use this glue, which is basically pretty horrible stuff, but it melts the pipe together and makes a really, really strong. It just, yeah, turns into one piece of plastic, I guess. So yeah, thanks guys for pointing that out. It's something I had no idea even existed. It's a little bit late to redo some of the big up-down pipes, but actually, as far as I can see, I think they basically work without silicone. It sounds a bit ridiculous, but I think they're probably pretty good, and solid silicone, they're not moving, it's all supported, it's not using the joint to support the unit. So I'm gonna take the risk. Maybe in 20 years I'll find out that's a bad idea, but it's not the end of the world. Yeah, right now, pretty much finishing up this wall so then I can insulate it and put the plasterboard on, which would be great. It's a big unfinished wall. And what I've done is basically I've just run the push fit pipes. So these are the hot water pipes coming from upstairs. And I've opted not to put joints in them, just run them separately, just because then there's no joints behind this entire wall. And then I shouldn't have a problem with a leaky joint or something going wrong, because then you're basically disconnected. So basically gonna now insulate this, get it all in, and then start plasterboarding it up, which would be great. It's a bit of a strewn mess of pipes, heat recovery, conduit, water waste, but it'd be great to get this done.
I know it's been a while after the last garden update. All the plants are already out of the balcony in the terraces or here in the kitchen, like this cucumber. So today I'm gonna give you another gardening update. So there are no more veggies in the balcony, but there are some cucumbers on this kitchen wall. So these are the cucumbers that didn't find a place in the terraces down there. Do you want to try a baby cucumber?
Wow, yeah.
Baby cucumber.
You can eat that.
Of course you can. Very crispy.
Whoa.
Nice.
Delicious.
Yeah. Half the rest of the garden is actually down there. You can see it from the kitchen. So I was very excited about the peas, and this is my second harvest. Green pea. I must share some with cameraman.
It's so sweet.
This year garden is doing much better because last year I picked a lot of snails. This year there still are quite some, but not as much as last year. Here is my mainly yellow and some red beetroots and carrots. This is our peach tree, and you can see little peaches. They are really, really cool. This year they are much bigger. I think they still have a lot of worms inside, but well, this is what happens when you don't put any pesticide on it. I was lying for you a little bit because not all of my plants are already like in the garden soil. I just put my nursery here outside because it's much easier to water them. I have some flowers here, some artichokes, habaneros. I don't think that transplanting carrots is a good idea, so I took some and replanted them here. A lot of them are just like this. But my zucchinis are doing super good. Look at these zucchinis. Really, really nice. These are the carrots. Now I have some cilantro here, some dills, chard, baby spinach. It's still quite good, but spinach actually likes colder weather or at least a lot of shade, so I don't think it's a good place for it. This is what I'm really proud of. It's all my tomatoes from the seeds. I mixed tomatoes with basil and some marigold, so the insects that are bringing the diseases or just eating the tomatoes stay away, and so far it actually really works. I call this an armpit of the tomato, so I need to get rid of this little armpit hair, because otherwise we're gonna have a giant bush of tomato, and if we don't have these, it will grow tall and will give some fruits. I'm growing some new lemon thyme. It smells really nice, and this is one of my most favorite flowers, nasturtiums, and apparently you can eat the blossoms as well as the leaves. Do you want some?
Sure.
Here you go. Eggplants, and first time in my life I'm planting okra. It should be quite a big plant with a beautiful flowers. Very excited to see this. Oh, the inspector is coming. Tiger's all the time with me in the garden.
No?
Hey, Tiger. And here's my compost. We already had quite some of the artichokes. This, as the Lithuanian, is one of the most exciting bits of my garden. This is the potato patch. My trees, new trees are doing pretty good. Remember my grandma's plant? It's actually just a stick now. That's life, I guess. We had his birthday here. I think we're actually gonna have some apples, because this apple tree is full of apples. It's a pear tree. It has some pears. I'm not sure. I think they will die sooner than they will grow. I can hardly see figs on this tree. Good that our neighbors have 4 or 5 giant fig trees. We're not going to have a fig starvation, for sure. I have a tiny little problem with these plants. It also has a good side, because they have a really nice smell and they are very good for bees. Well, at least they enjoy it. This is our bay tree, and it is super beautiful because it's evergreen tunnels, so I really enjoy it. Here are the transplanted strawberries from the last year. Every day I have at least a bowl of strawberries. So in between the strawberries, I planted around 100 spring onions. They are supposed to as well protect the strawberries from some insects, and I think they are doing a pretty good job. These are this year's strawberries. This strawberry is supposed to be a strawberry combination with pineapple, so it's definitely something genetically modified. Maybe we should try it. Okay. Oh wow, it really is a little bit like pineapple.
No. Whoa.
It is, yeah. Here we have 3 melons. These are supposed to be red beans, I think, and these are supposed to be purple beans. But what I have here, it's probably a bean that's for decoration more. These are my cucumbers. The cucumbers and the beans will be like a wall for the water. A lot of kale and broccolis, and soon I will also plant some pink cauliflowers. Mint was actually growing here. It was a tiny patch, but if you have ever had mint in your garden, then you know that mint, what is quite invasive. I boxed it with some stones. Cilantro. Yeah, they're really beautiful. Taste and smell like cilantro. Some dill between the kale. In a couple of weeks we're gonna have zucchinis that we will be capable of eating. These are cucumbers, I think, and they just keep appearing in the garden. Watermelon should be a really big plant. Loofah. I really want to have some homemade sponges, because buying plastic ones makes me cry inside every time I need to do it. But apparently I'm not the only one who loves it. Snails love that too. Almost every evening I put the jars on it and expect them to be protected. Calendula and nasturtiums and chamomile, spaghetti squash, and a pumpkin. This is our quince. This is a plum, which color is actually green. And last year I was waiting and waiting till it will get like violet or red or yellow, and it didn't. As most of the fruits and vegetables are already in the soil, the next update will be when we already have a harvest to show you. See you then.